So this is just a short video to show you how to tighten up the handlebars on the Rebel or the Rebel trike. If these screws on the front are not tight enough, the handlebars can move when you hit the brakes. And what you want to do is get some Loctite on these screws. So go ahead and remove the screws, and it's easier to remove one at a time because then you know they're lined up correctly. So just pull the screw out, take some of the blue Loctite, which is the medium strength, and just add a little bit onto the threads. And then put the screw back in. And the main thing when you're tightening these up, it's not just tighten each one and then be done with it. It's more like when you're tightening up the lugs on a wheel of a car, is you want to get this one tight and then come over and again do the thread locker on this one as well. Make sure the handlebars are in the position you want them, and then tighten this bolt up. But then you have to go back to the other one, because once you tighten this one, the one you already did is going to feel a little bit loose. So you have to go back and tighten that one again, go back and tighten this one again, and do that a couple times. And then also there's two screws on the front, same thing, remove those, put the blue thread locker on them, and then just go back and forth, tightening, come back one more time to these, and just make sure they're real snug. And once you do that, those bolts will not come out again, and this will be nice and tight. Video is to show you what to do if the handlebars get loose on either the Rebel or the Rebel trike. There's two things that cause a handlebar to come loose, and one of them is this big Allen bolt right here, and the other is on the steering stem. So if it's wobbling back and forth like that, it's typically just this bolt right here. So you're going to want to tighten this up, and then you'd have to torque this down very tightly. So you want to really snug it in there. If you do that, it prevents the left and right to wobble, but if you still get movement in the steering stem, that's the stem itself, and there's a spanner nut on there. So remove this bolt completely. Lift this off the stem. And then with if you don't have a spanner wrench, the easiest way to do this is just with a screwdriver and just start tapping it with a hammer. You're just going to tighten this. And you'll feel it snug up. Just give it a couple good taps to make sure it's snug. And then set the steering handlebars back on top. And then tighten the large bolt again. This is probably the best solution to stop the handlebars from moving at all. If you can't get this tight enough to where this doesn't move, we would put a hole right through the bracket. And then run a self-tapper through that hole right into the handlebars, and that should stop them from moving at all. Then take a 1.5 inch self-tapper and run it right in there. Once that's in there, the handlebars can't move at all.